Hey everyone, Jason here again, back with another episode of Sports Buzz. Today I'm going to get my thoughts on the Chicago Bears and what they should do with their quarterback situation, if they should keep Jay Cutler, their options if they decide to let him go, and their options, I think, if they decide to draft a quarterback. Okay, so first we're going to start out with Jay the last couple years here, first of all, and just a brief synopsis, and we're going to go through the options, and then we can go through the draft and get my overall thoughts here. Okay, so Jay was drafted, in 2006 out of Vanderbilt by the Denver Broncos. The first 2 years here, 2006 through 2008, threw 54 touchdowns to 37 interceptions. Was known as the shotgun, the strong arm quarterback. I was impressed. I remember watching him on fantasy football for fantasy football reasons, and I was somewhat impressed. He was always a threat, always kind of maybe hyped up a little too much, and ended up coming out of Denver, being traded to the Chicago Bears in 2009. From 2009 through 2014, so last year, he has thrown 129 touchdowns to 93 interceptions. So that is not such a good ratio. Overall, he is known as a turnover machine in Chicago, and that is definitely true. Definitely. Very inconsistent here. Really not the type of leader, especially last year in 2014. But I'll get to that in a minute. Let's get back. Let's start with 2000 and third in 2013, probably his best year as a quarterback so far. Of course, being in year 9 now. 2013, 19 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That earned him his best QBR of 89.2. That earned him a 7-year contract extension. A big monster in the room, a big elephant in this room, if you will. Here, 7 years, 126 million dollars, $15 million just next year alone. So that is crazy. That was by former GM Phil Emery and with the former administration now with Mark Trestman. Crazy. Considering that Jay is a very inconsistent quarterback, um, I don't know. I don't understand why the Bears decided to do this. They could have signed him to a 1-year deal. Maybe could have franchised him or something, and they wouldn't have had to sign him to this crazy deal. Now this leaves them in a bad place for this year, going with a new era of Ryan Pace, the rookie general manager, and John Fox, the new head coach. This leaves them in a very bad place. Either they keep Jay and pay the $15 million and keep him through next year, and then cut him, or figure out a way to get rid of him, or they try to trade him to a team that desperately needs a quarterback, and there are a few. And that's definitely an option. But the problem with this is, though, again, you're going to have to pay majority of that, if not all of that, 15 million for next year. Eat a huge chunk of that, and then they're going to. You would think maybe they would have to throw in maybe a draft pick or something to make the team, make it worthwhile. Maybe. That's definitely an option. If they decide to keep Jay, they could definitely um, build the defense. They could definitely use a 7th pick they had last year after having a horrible year. They could definitely get a defensive tackle, a linebacker, or a DB, a back end player for the defense. Um, if they decide to go away from Jay and kind of either via trade and on draft day, we don't know. We don't know yet. The rumors are there, but definitely there are a couple options. They can trade him to Tennessee, of course, where he went to Vanderbilt, and we can go from there. Or you can trade him to John Fox in St. Louis and maybe get. Uh, I don't know. I don't know what you're going to get for Jay. I don't know what his value is now, but at least if you wanted to get rid of him here, if it's that extreme. You're not going to cut him, I don't think, with that money being owed, with the guaranteed money of $54 million already and whatnot with the life of the contract. But if they decide to go from Jay, there are some options of free agency, very non-interesting to me, very bland, um, non-impressive options, I should say. And I have a short list though, if they decide to do this. My first of the 4 options here, 3 options here, 4, is Brian Hoyer. He was drafted by the Patriots in '09 through '11. Sat behind Tom Brady. In 2013, um, made his way to Cleveland. Started 3 games. Was hurt. Had a 59.4 completion percentage. Um, kind of was the savior, if you will. He was pretty impressive there. Um, in those games, nothing over the top, but he was a solid quarterback based on what they had before with Brandon Weeden and whatnot. He got hurt there, so that was the end of the year. 2014, so last year they drafted Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football, with the 22nd pick. Um, a lot of people said they wanted Johnny Manziel to start right away. They did not. They did not let Manziel start. Sat him on the bench in a full 14-game season. Hoyer kind of hit a wall, and I don't know what the upside is with him, but it was basically his first full season, his best season. He threw 12 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. At the end of the year, struggled mildly and very badly. The Browns started off good the year, but they ended up putting Johnny Manziel in, and the questions continue with this. But Hoyer, who is set to be a free agent, if he does not sign with the Browns, is definitely an option. I think could be the best option, maybe, for the Bears if they decide to get away from um, Jay Cutler because of his experience, because he is kind of a game manager here. The next option you have here is Jake Locker, and Jake Locker, obviously coming out of Washington a couple years ago. He intrigues me. Being that he's 26 years old, the age definitely is something that you want. Said to be a free agent. It's a mess in Tennessee, but he is a tall, strong arm quarterback. He's somewhat mobile, but his injury history is what is definitely the uh, the elephant in the room, if you will. Has been hurt a majority of the last couple of years. He's somewhat inconsistent with his numbers here, but he's on a very, very bad team the last couple of years here. But he has at times also shown flashes, so there's definitely an option there. And if if I had to re-rank this list, I may put Jake Locker at number one for the moment. So I will rank these at the very end. But right now he is my number two option on the short list. My next option here is Ryan Mallett, and there's a theme here. Ryan Mallett was drafted by the New England Patriots, sat behind Tom Brady for a year, I believe, or two. In short duty last year, was traded from the Patriots to the Houston Texans last um, last training camp, and when Ryan Fitzpatrick got hurt, Ryan Mallett came in limited duty there for 3 games, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He got hurt. Is a tall, strong-arm quarterback. Um, I like him. Probably the best option on this list. So right now I have it being Mallett, Locker, Hoyer. Here's my options for the Bears if they decide to do this. The options and the issue with him is that he's young, but the issue with him, his um, his market may only be in Houston. They definitely, I think, need a quarterback, need to get away from Ryan Fitzpatrick. Um, After he's a 10-year veteran, is Ryan Fitzpatrick. So Ryan Mallett could be the heir apparent and could be the next quarterback of the Houston Texans. We'll have to see what they decide to do. Bill O'Brien and Mallett have a history going back to the Patriots multiple years ago, and so I definitely think um, his destination is Houston. The next option that I have for the Bears here is Mark Sanchez. The issue with Mark Sanchez is obviously he's very inconsistent um, throughout his career in general. Last year was his best career year with 14 touchdowns and 11 interceptions in limited duty. Last 6 games, I believe, in for Nick Foles in Philadelphia with the Eagles. He was drafted, of course, by the Jets, and the first 2 years led him to the AFC Championship game. After that, things kind of fell apart. He did not even play in 2013 after tearing his shoulder and hurting his shoulder in the preseason. So after that, he goes to The Eagles has a career year last year and is definitely an option. Um, but again, he's very inconsistent. He does show flashes of competence and knows what he's doing, but he is at that stage in his career where he needs to get things going and he needs to um, kind of prove if he can be an NFL quarterback or not and a starter if at that. Um, so he could be an option, but I definitely think that he is better off being a backup somewhere, and he may go to another team, maybe such as the Buffalo Bills or something. Okay, one final option that I did not write on my short list, but another option would be Josh McCown, formerly of the Chicago Bears 2 years ago in 2013. He was the backup for Jay Cutler, and he played for Jay when Jay was hurt, and was very impressive. I believe at one point he had 13 touchdowns and one interception, if I'm not mistaken, um, and that led him to having a big um, free agent deal by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year, $5 million or 5 year deal, non-guaranteed. So he was cut after last year, after struggling some last year, and he is basically though a career backup. I don't think he's going to be a starter anywhere, but if the Bears choose, they can go with him. But I think he's a career backup, maybe in Baltimore, or another team if he so decides and if things are right with him. Um, okay, so that's basically your existing NFL, your free agent NFL quarterbacks. The next option is through the draft, and there are only a limited number of quarterbacks. The top two quarterbacks, Jameis Winston, um, is likely going to be number one overall pick. Maybe we'll have to see how things shake out after the combine this week. Um, but all the mock drafts that I've seen have him going to Tampa Bay, and I think that'd be a good place for him. The issue with Jameis Winston, in my opinion, is of course the off the field issues. He is a big, physical, pretty strong arm quarterback. He's got all the tools. He's got a laundry list of awards, as does Marcus Mariota. But I think he will be the number one overall pick, maybe to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who need a quarterback now after letting McCown go. Mike Glennon is the quarterback now. Okay, but for the Bears, I think that Marcus Mariota could be an option, sitting at number 7. If he falls below, 1 or 2, he could slip to 5, could go to Washington, or he could slip to the Bears. If that happens, you may think about drafting him. I think they definitely do need to figure out what other needs they have on the defensive side of the ball. The defense was horrible last year, ranking at 30th. They can get a defensive tackle. They can get a linebacker. They could even get corners. In my opinion, you want to get the best defensive player. You want to go back to the Bears, smash mouth football, and what the Bears used to be, where when you played the Bears, you were afraid. That's definitely what I think they should do. They should maybe get back to the ground and pound. So if Mariota's there, I think they should take him, and I like his NFL body. I like his tall. Um, he's fast. He's got a pretty good release. Is a mobile quarterback. Maturity is definitely there with him. Soft spoken, could be a leader in the locker room. Um, the cons for me, and I've seen this online, in multiple places. The option offense, I've had this opinion for quite a while, judging back to the national championship game, and even before that, watching him versus Florida State. He just seems to break down really quickly and not be able to throw the deep ball, not be able to do what it takes to be a full-rounded quarterback, which leads me to believe that he may not be that full-rounded quarterback of the future. So we'll have to see what happens and where he goes. But that could be an option. So to break it down here, my short list for the Bears, if they decide to get rid of Jay, who has not been a leader, who I did not mention before, who has not been a leader really, is not known to be a leader. That's one of his cons. That short list is maybe, if you decide to get rid of Jay, you go with Ryan Mallett, you go with Jake Locker, then you go with Hoyer, then you go with Sanchez. and maybe then Mariota. If Mariota's there, I think he's number one. Then you go Mallet, Foyer, Locker, Sanchez. That's just my options, but I do recommend that they keep Jay for this year, not only because of the money, but what are your options. You know, I don't know. We'll see what they do, and it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with the NFL draft, which is here in Chicago in April and May now. So a couple weeks, in the drafting, the scouting combine is actually this week. So it's gonna be very interesting to see tape and actually watch this stuff live. Okay, guys, so this is my thoughts on what the Bears should do at the quarterback position. If you guys agree, and what do you guys think? So if you have a similar opinion, a different opinion, please leave a comment below in the comment area. We can have a full discussion on this. So yeah, so thank you guys for watching this episode of Sports Buzz. I'm trying to put out more Sports Buzz episodes as the draft gets clearer and closer, and things come to evolve with free agency and whatnot. I do want to get back to doing album reviews, so I will be doing that probably in the near future. I'm not exactly sure. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this episode of Sports Buzz. Please subscribe if you like this. Have a nice day. Bye bye.